Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. Today I want to talk about the Freddie Gray case. For those of you who don't remember or are unfamiliar with the case, that's the case where a young black man was stopped by the police for no legitimate reason. Apparently, he merely looked at an officer and the police felt the need to chase him down and grab him and pin him down. And they eventually put him in a police wagon. And he ended up having a severed backbone. And he was in a coma for some time and then he passed away. And his death caused a lot of outrage and protest in the city of Baltimore. People were marching in the streets, and eventually there was a rebellion in the city. So the case is back in the news now because the officers are in the process of going to trial. There's been some hearings on very important motions. Some of those motions include a motion to dismiss. The court denied that. There was a motion to have Marilyn Mosby removed from the case. That was denied. And then there was a motion to have the cases separated into different trials for each one of the officers. That motion was granted. And there's a motion that's scheduled for tomorrow to determine whether or not the case will be tried in Baltimore City. And there's scheduled to be protests tomorrow, as there were protests during the other hearings last week. And the big news is this: there's been a settlement with the family. The city agreed to pay the family $6.4 million. And there's been mixed reaction. Some have criticized it, such as the police union. They say that it was wrong to reach a settlement without going through the criminal process, without trying the officers and establishing the facts through a trial. They thought it was premature to reach a settlement, and they thought that that would have some kind of adverse impact on the criminal trials that are scheduled to occur soon. So that's the police union. Then you have people in the community who have talked about how they view this as basically hush money. And that's the point that I want to stress. No matter how much they pay the family, that shouldn't cause us to relax. It shouldn't cause us to feel like there's some sense of justice. There will not be justice until each one of those officers is tried, and if the facts establish the case, and convicted. So that will be justice for Freddie Gray and his family. That's complete justice. But even that is not enough. We need fundamental change in order for there to be justice. We need to prevent these things from happening in the future by changing the practices of the police department here in Baltimore. So until that happens, until we have those things, the protests must continue. The people must remain vigilant. They must remain on their posts. They can't allow themselves to go to sleep like what happened in Ferguson. Michael Brown was killed. There was a decision not to prosecute the killer, and eventually the rage dissipated. The same is true for Trayvon Martin. He was killed. The case actually went to trial, and George Zimmerman was acquitted, and there was no justice for Trayvon Martin or his family. And after a while, people just got back into their regular routine, and it was business as usual. Every other day, there's another example of a black person being killed by these police, harassed by these police, abused by these police. So we have to keep up the pressure, keep struggling, keep showing up in force, in person. It's not enough to do YouTube videos like this. It's not enough to blog about these things. We have to actually be in the streets protesting, letting our rage be heard by the people. Otherwise, if we allow things to continue, we'll just be pacified with a few dollars, and these police officers will just walk. So we really need to be vigilant to let them know that we care about this case and we care about the issue of police brutality in this city and in this country. Peace.